Okay, good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Goodfellas FPL Picks. This is Game Week 6, and we're up and running. We're doing good this week. Unfortunately, there's only two of us this week because Pio has important matters to take care of. We wish him all the best, and Taffy or the A game is coming to us all the way from down under.
Yes, live from Melbourne. It's about almost midnight here, so and it's freezing, hence the jacket. But nonetheless, we are back into game week 6, and the important news are coming up.
Yeah, it's good to see. Actually, now that we're in this point, I just realized that we don't have our name tags below, but it's okay. It's just a 1 week thing. So this is going to be a quick one for this week as Tefi's enjoying himself all the way from down under and Pio's busy. So, but we didn't want to leave you guys hanging. So this is what we have for this week. In honor of our friend Pio, let's do a head joke.
Oh, you
So
have
yeah, I got to think of my brother here. So okay, why why should you get a hat with a built-in fan?
where did I get a hat with a
Why? Wait, no.
blue?
Why should you get a hat with a built-in fan?
Wow. Okay, I don't
Because
know.
because then it will really blow your mind. Okay, this is Pio's level of so I,
I think Pio will like that one.
okay. So moving on. So this is the first big news of the week. We were all afraid, considering that Haaland was facing that back injury, but we see something different, right?
Yeah, very good news that Haaland is back, or actually was seen in training. A lot of people are captaining or even triple captaining Haaland this weekend because they are playing against Burnley. So it was a bit of a shock that he didn't play midweek. So there was that trepidation there that he may not play over the weekend. But seeing him back in training fills a lot of people with a lot more confident that he will make it to the first 11 this weekend.
Yeah, so he's really got his scoring boots on this season, and we really hope to see a lot more from him. In fact, I kind of regret not triple captaining him even last week. So we shall see, whether we already have people like Ben and all talking about whether or not we are going to use our free hits or we're going to use our triple captains this week. We're hoping for that. We shall see how that goes. Okay, so this is the first big news. What's the next big news?
Well, what's
Next,
next? I don't know. See what's
hmm, next big news is talking about Liverpool star Ekitike could face double punishment after the red card in Carabao Cup win over Southampton. So, what do we think about this? Is this you mentioned earlier that you think that there must be more to it?
Yeah, because I think Ani was quite frustrated that he took out his shirt to celebrate the goal during the Carabao Cup, which led to the second yellow card, which he felt was really silly. So although he's gonna miss the first game, the game this weekend, Liverpool may just enforce their own rule by letting him sit out at least 2 games as a punishment.
Hmm.
On a back end, I feel that this is a good way for them to introduce Isak into the team. So those of you who have already got Isak into the team, this is Isak's opportunity to stake his claim to the first 11 of the Liverpool attack.
Hmm.
And
That's right. So,
those of you who are going to wildcard, so Isa might be a good bet at 10.5, and at least he will start this weekend, and maybe the next weekend as well. So there is that promise of at least 80 or 90 minutes for Isa.
and if he starts scoring the way he scored last season, I think we are going to see a change in the Liverpool forward line to see
Mm.
who actually manages to keep the spot as the leading forward for the team. Okay. Interesting here that it's going to be Ekitike is going to be dropped 2 weeks wages also, kind of like a double whammy there. Already
Mm,
getting
mm.
the the ban, and on top of that, not getting 2 weeks of salary. But okay, these people have too much money anyway. Let's go to the next thing. The next thing should be another big club. Which one is it? Is it this one? No, I'm missing it. Oh, right here. Okay, the next big news that we have here is that Palmer
Uh,
may be out for longer than expected. Okay, all the way until international break, we're looking at quite a number of weeks. Even though that I was mentioning that he doesn't require surgery for his groin injury. By the way, right, we claim no ownership of any of these sources. They're just internet articles that we're looking at right now, and we're learning this news and sending it to you. So
yeah.
he went off quite early against Man U in the last game, and decided to actually protect him to prevent his injury from getting worse. But I suspect he's going to be out for at least a good few weeks, 3, 4 weeks, and then after that, slow recovery before we get him back to his top form again.
Yeah, and I don't think he's really hit any top form. He has been more of a bane than a plus. Palmer, I've been in my team since week one, and if you go and look at his record since in the entire 2025, it is not really very good. And his last goal, I think, came a few months ago. So at a price point of 10 point something, I think he's more of makes you feel safe that you have him in the team. But yeah, he just does not seem to be generating the amount of points you expect from a 10.5 million dollar player. So I'm more and more feeling a lot safer not having him in my team at all, and replacing him this week with players like Bruno Fernandes, or maybe even Mohamed Kudus.
Mm. And Jay, no? Like,
I already have Grealish in my team, so yeah, one Everton player is more than enough.
hey, you can double down, it is your team after all. Okay, next one still on Chelsea. We have our goalkeeper. Okay, Steffi, in the A game, you were very excited to tell me this, and you were worried that a lot of people didn't know this. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, because I don't own I don't own him, but I always thought that after last week's red card, he will be out this week. But good news that he already served that ban during the League Cup in midweek, so he is well and eligible to play the game for this week. So Sanchez owners, you can be rest assured, no problem, no changes needed. You can leave him, and he should start the next game for Chelsea.
Okay, but you do must consider the fact that they are going to face Liverpool at home, right?
Is it this weekend?
No, Game week 7
Oh, okay, week seven.
next
Yeah,
season. Yeah,
Brighton.
so
Brighton might be a tricky opponent, but like I said, he will still be playing. So there is no reason to bring in your $4 keeper unless absolutely necessary, or you feel that he's not going to keep a clean sheet. Chelsea
mm,
usually do quite well at home now.
mm, not at menu, but at home.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Finally, a piece of good news there for the menu fans. Unfortunately, the other menu fan is not here, so that we can gloat together. But okay, it is what it is. Okay, so moving on. First, I think we should credit the team of the week, I believe. So hold on, let me bring that up for you. Okay, so this is the team of the week for Game Week 5.
Yeah.
Game Week 5. So this is 120 points total. Okay, the player of the week being stuck there. Then you have Pope as the keeper, having 6, and then the biggest numbers that you can see is the Brugge with 15, and then Calvert Lewin. So we have two Red Bulls there, and
Mm.
good to see Bruno Fernandes actually made the list together with Maguire.
Hmm.
Yeah, so this is the team of the week for game week 5.
Of which I do not even have one. I mean, can you imagine all these players? They're not even one is in my team.
Mm.
So yeah, Calvert Lewin, yeah, that I think a big shout out to Starch. I think that's his name. His free kick was just brilliant. They were 1-0 down against Wolves, and then they won 3-1. And he was running the entire midfield for Leeds. So he's a player to look out. I don't have him, but he's definitely in my thoughts, especially if he keeps taking free kicks like that.
Okay, so moving on, let's look at your team. This is your team. Can you take us through your team and your reasons?
Okay. So Man City keeper for obvious because it's Burnley. So I'm hoping Donnarumma will finally keep a good clean sheet this time. I have a kind of like a template team, you know. Senesi is doing well. One Chelsea defender, attacking guy. Gabriel against Newcastle this week, so I may put him onto the bench. Van der Ven, almost everyone has him because Tottenham have a good run of fixtures, and just an Heaven is just an enabler from Manchester United. Um, Reinders, wow, big mistake last week for having him on the bench. I'm one of the 150,000 people who have kept him on the bench last week. Never again, I guess. So he's back in my midfield. Grealish, I hope he will start to perform again for Everton. Away to West Ham. Semenyo, cannot do without him. I've brought Bruno Fernandes back in because Palmer is out for 3 to 4 weeks. So Bruno is the replacement. It was between him and Kudus, but I went for that safety feeling with Bruno Fernandes. King is my enabler for Fulham, so he would most likely be on my bench. The three strikers I have is Goikarez, João Pedro. Very tempted to change Goikarez to because I have the money to Isak, but I'm just leaving Gokares in first to see how Isak performs. And I have a strong feeling, like what the article says, that Haaland will start the game against Burnley. I don't see why he should not. And then João Pedro from Chelsea is always the ever reliable. So my captain will be, I will put the captain's armband on Haaland since he was spotted training. So I'll keep my captain's armband on Haaland and my vice captain on Semenyo just in case Haaland doesn't play that game.
The thing, I see that you have also brought in and thinking in. I think looking at Pure also doing the same thing. But I was wondering whether or not you think that Gyökeres will actually do better against Newcastle than Isak against who are they playing in?
Brighton, I think.
Ah, yes, no, Crystal Palace.
Oh, Crystal
Mhm.
Palace, yeah. So Crystal Palace is very tricky. That's
Yeah,
why. And Isak has not scored for Liverpool yet. So and I did not want to take a hit, a -4 hit, to remove Gokares and bring in Isak. So that was just simply my reason. I did not want to take the -4 to bring in Isak at this point in time. But I may do so in the next week once I see who Liverpool is going to play up front.
it's valued at about 10.5 at the moment, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's right. That's
so
right.
yeah, that is actually quite a big hit. And if you already have some big names in midfield, as well as Haaland at 14, you might not be able to fit him in your team. Okay, so moving along, this is Pio's team. So for Pio, he's actually doing a wild card. He's doing a wild card this week. So these are the players that he has actually brought in. I see there are some very clear ones like you said, Starch, right? You mentioned. So Starch is in, Semenyo is in, Fernandez is in, Mendes is in. So all of these players, actually his midfield looks really good now. And bringing in Ekitike, which is the only question mark there, I suspect he wants to put him there as an investment, thinking that maybe in the future game weeks he can be used. Other than that, everything
Mm.
is kind of obvious. You have Arsenal defense as usual. Okay, you have one there, and then you have Chaloba as well. So also being a good performer, and he also has one in there. Yeah, so you have few bringing in there. There's more faith in there than Grealish. Anything you
Yeah.
would consider to be
So
out of the ordinary or something to change, except for Ekitike, lah, which is I think we discussed.
yeah, if I were him, I would bring in Jao Pedro, save me a million, and then I can upgrade maybe a Timber to a Gabriel because Gabriel is more nailed on, or Richards to Guehi or something like that. That could be that could be an option. But he seems to be very happy with that Liverpool player up front, so maybe that's his right ball feel. So we'll just leave him to that. But if anyone would have any comments about his team, please do write down in the comments. That will help him out greatly.
Yeah. Okay. So speaking of which, this is currently my team. Okay, I have not made any changes yet. In the last game week, decent number of points there. You know,
Yeah, for last game week, you had very good
so
points
lucky,
actually.
lucky because I have Captain Haaland in the team, but I have Anderson on the bench here. Gakpo not
Yeah,
really actually returning points, so that's someone I'm looking to might be considering.
yeah. Gakpo came out in the fifth, yeah, almost 59
Hmm.
minute, on the 60th minute actually.
Okay, so looking at this, right? Other than the some of the changes that I'm considering, I could consider changing Wood out for another forward. I do still have some budget left, so I can afford something a little bit more expensive. I could also consider changing Pedro Porro to Van de Ven, who's actually scoring more points. Uh, due to his contributions. So the rest, okay,
Mm,
and thirdly is of course to possibly switch out Gakpo for somebody else. Other than that, the rest are staying where they are. But because I only have one transfer, I'm actually very hesitant to just make a
mm.
jump. So right now, most who you advise?
I think you have a good starting 11. I think you have a solid starting 11 because your Ed Nori, Wan Basika will be out. Um, so I think you have no issues. There is no urgency of making a transfer. Even your Chris Wood, he's against Sunderland, so it's still a possibility to keep him, even though he has not been returning the points. So if I were you, I would stick to a very good starting 11 and roll the transfer to one more week or another week. So at least you have 2 to 3 transfers to make good changes. And since last week, your points were good points. So I think I would, if I were you, I would remain. I would remain and just roll my transfers for now.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that I can't switch out the players that are out because I've had always had the gamble of bringing in somebody else to hopefully boost up the points. Like I brought in Gakpo and Semenyo, I believe, in the previous week. So as a result, um, it impacts my ability to change out so that I cannot bench boost at the moment because I know there'll be players that are out. But like even in this week, if
Mm.
I change, I'm changing players just simply for the sake of points. Um, not really getting removing the Aignori and Wan Bisaka that are going to be out for some time. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
keeper choice wise, based on what I have right now, most likely I will play uh, Raya against Newcastle.
yeah,
Yeah, so that will be my
yeah,
current best bet. Newcastle defensively is quite strong actually. They're quite nailed on. Just that now they lost their teeth in attack. Mm. But
Mm.
defensively, they're
Who will you be, who will you be captaining this week?
most likely I will leave it at Haaland. And yeah,
Mm.
the most logical second choice would be Semenyo because if Haaland doesn't play, then
Mm.
Semenyo in this lineup, I think Semenyo is the second highest. points.
Yeah,
Other people that we could
agree.
consider, like some people are still on Team Salah and will have Salah in midfield. Other choices, yeah, lah, I think that the main differentials this week will be who dares to actually take a gamble on Isak and put him in the forward line
Mm,
and see whether or not he's going to bring in the returns.
yeah.
Because he is quite dynamic. We just don't know whether or not he has as settled in the Liverpool team as he was in the Newcastle team, but he knew where to be to receive the balls
Yeah.
he needed to receive.
Agree,
Mhm.
agree, 100%
Mm.
agree. The only differential I would look at this week would be João Pedro. He's playing against his former club,
Mm.
so that would be an interesting
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that rounds up our thing for this week. Um, we hope to have more. I say we want to have a quick one. Still 20 minutes, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
So okay. Thank you very much for
Okay.
spending the time with us. We hope for the
Yeah.
best. We wish for the best for your team this week. Please think about it. Make good choices. A lot of people are considering wild carding this week. So if you decide to, please think of a few games ahead rather than just the current game week. Unlike what I did, which
Yeah.
is why I regretted my choice of wildcard in game week 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Other than that, please
Yeah.
join our league. The code is below. We are always happy to have
Mm,
more, and we welcome all your comments and all your feedback. Uh, Again, do
that's
you want to say anything before we sign off?
No, I just say that those of you who are wildcarding, please think long term. If I was to going to wildcard, I most likely bring Isa in as well. That would be ideal, I think. If you can have Isa, Haaland, and João Pedro for a wildcard, I think that would be I think that would be best the best attacking line. Of course, if you don't have Salah. Um, so yeah, all the best. Good luck, and yeah, until next
Have
week.
a good game week, everybody. Take care.